Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the Ozarks. Nice 78, I would say. Sunny, clear, just beautiful for mid-November. So today was a perfect day to finish off rebuilding our pocket door nets in the rear of the Broncos. We already did part one, and that was the front two doors, and this is part two, the rear doors. This is a little bit more intricate than the front doors. That's pretty easy. So let's get started. Let's get started on removing this rear door panel. Once we do that, we'll get to these pocket doors. As you notice, these don't have the bolts like the front pocket doors do. They're actually kind of plastic welded on the back, so we're going to figure out how to do that. But first things first, we have to do some removal here. So there's going to be a bolt back behind here, two bolts here, and two bolts right here. Okay, we have to get rid of all those first. So what I've got, and I'm going to put this in a QR code, so we'll have all this up there for you to just zap and get all the information on. But we're going to need an 8mm socket, and I'm just going to use this little DeWalt to take them all off. So first thing we need to do is go ahead and remove this and this, okay? So to remove this is pretty easy. Inside here, there's a little notch. It's about, let's see here if I can see it. It's about right about there. You just got to take a little screwdriver and pull that little notch out. So I can find one here. Need a bigger screw. So let's just try the bigger screwdriver. This is a little bit hard trying to do this one-handed. So I'm gonna try it though. Let's see here. Well, I do have a secondary camera going on here. All right, so I got it out again. This just pops out, and there's a little hole right, or a little tab right there, little cutout for your screwdriver, and you just get in there and pull forward, and it just comes out, and there you have the bolt. Okay, so that's that one. And this one is pretty easy to do. What you don't want to do is hang on to this handle like this. You want to just hang on to the edges of the handle, and to do this, you're just going to go ahead and pull up right here. It should just pop right off, okay? Pretty easy to do. And then there's two bolts there and two bolts there. So now we're just going to go ahead and take all these bolts out of here. And I have a magnetic socket, but it didn't hold it very well. And then these right here. And then the very, very bottom. So let me get back a little bit here. See where we're at. All right, so we're gonna have to get rid of these. Take these out right here. I like to get them all the way almost off, and then I want to get them off by hand after that, just because it's a little better on your threads. Okay. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pull this whole panel off, And we're going to start at the lift down here. There's like a little lift spot. It should just pull off straight from there. Just going to pull on out like that, and it should just come off. There we go. Just really easy. Just pops out and just lift up. Now, well, we're not going to take this all the way off. We're just going to flip it around. So what I want you to do is get some type of blanket or something, and we're just going to put it over this door so that we don't scratch up this panel when we're working on it. This is just an old sheet I had out in the back there. All right, let me put this down for a second. Just like that, you got your cover in there, and it's just, we're not taking these off right here. Nothing's really holding this up. We're not going to put any pressure on this, so it's going to be fine. All right, so then what you're going to do is we're going to get rid of, now on my other panel, I kind of did this a different way, which I'm going to tell you not to do it. So where on this one, we're going to do it the right way. So I drilled all these little plastic ones out, okay? We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a small little hole saw, basically, and we're just going to go ahead and hole saw them out so that we still have the material in there and it's not drilled out, all right? So that's going to kind of be the easiest way to do this. And what we're going to use is, let me see here. Now, again, I'll put in the QR code, but pretty simple. It's just this little deal. And now what you really want to do on this little hole saw is you want to put this drill as far back as you can get it where it still holds in the hole saw, because you're going to want to put them in place in that little hole, but we don't want to drill it out. We want to get to this hole. We want to leave that in there, so when we put it back on, it's going to fit perfect. And we'll be able to glue or hot glue these back in, and it's going to be a perfect fit, okay? So let's get started on that. Pretty easy to do here. I'll switch out. So all I'm going to do is kind of center it up and then start drilling, okay? So I'm going to put this down for a second, and we're going to go over here. All right, so we're going to drill these out. It's a little tight fit here. I'm going to try to get it where you can see the best that I can do this. We're going to drill this out one by one. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these. All right, and I just start from the bottom, and then I'll go back up. And you can feel it when it pops through, so you don't have to wonder if you got through it. It actually will give a little bit. And you'll probably have to clean your little hole saw out a little bit here and there. Okay. It's pretty easy. It's working pretty good. And you can push down on it with your finger to see if it's moving, and they're all moving. So we know that nothing is holding this on anymore. We just got to finish the rest, and it should just come apart. Oops. Oh, it's stuck on there. Nope, that's still in there, so I got a little bit to go yet. You don't have to go very much. It's thin plastic. Should be it right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. A few more to go. It's semi nerve-wracking, but in the end it's pretty easy to do. So you're gonna have all these holes out of there now. But since I didn't drill all that out and I did the mini hole saw, all those are still on there. It's gonna go back on perfectly. So that's what's really cool about it. Okay. So that's kind of like what it looks like in the front here. Okay. And probably should clean a little bit of this up. Just clean up with your thumb. Fairly clean hole cut saw. Nothing really too frayed or anything. So it worked out really good. And then this hole saw will just go right back in there. All right. All right, so on this side of it, we're gonna do a little cleaning. You can kind of see some leftover plastic there. And mainly you can just get that off with your hands. But what you wanna do is you wanna make it pretty clean. You kinda wanna make it look, so I can get one clean for you. Kinda like this one right here. It's pretty clean and not a lot around it. You could just take yourself a little razor blade or something and clean all this up. And that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to probably use a little razor blade knife. All right, so got all that cleaned up. And so one thing we're going to have to do is we're going to leave all of these just like we did, except for these top two. These top two right here, that one there, and that one there, we're gonna have to drill those all the way out because in order to get this old cord out, these are kind of holding this little flap down right here. So there's not really a way to get that off of there. So we're gonna have to drill those off, okay? All right, let me do that and I'll come right back. All right, so I'm just gonna drill this out. See if I can do it one-handed. Nope. All right, let's see here. There we go. Just really easy. You don't want to do a whole lot. There we go. All right. That should pop off there. Yep. All right, same thing over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this down for a second. Okay, so after we got all that off of there, kind of see how it looks. And what we're going to do, just like on the front ones, we have to go ahead and take a razor blade and cut that little thread off right there that's holding this little weak bungee cord on, and they're on both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. The easy way probably, and you don't want to cut this piece of plastic right here, but the easiest way to do is just to cut this from this side instead of flipping it over this way. So let's see if I can get this. Okay, so what we have to do now is take one of these little ring terminals. This is a number 8. It's a Jandorf ring terminal. And there's 2 to a box. And that's not originally what I ordered. What I actually ordered was opened end. So in other words, it wasn't closed here, it was opened over there. And so they sent me the wrong size. It's way too big. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna have time to wait for my other ones to come in. So this is what I'm gonna improvise with. But basically what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to, it's already got a split down this thing. You're just gonna have to open it up. I just use a little Dremel drill and just cut through it. But I'm gonna send you the correct size one. I'll send you both this way. It's gonna be a little bit cheaper to do these, but I'll send you these, and then I'll send you the one that I was supposed to get just the wrong size. All right, so let me finish this other one, and I'll be right back. Okay. All right, so what I did do is I did snip off just a little tiny piece off the edge of that. And the reason being is because when you want it to be behind this little piece right here so it fits, so it's not sticking out. So that's about how far I took off. I'm gonna say that's probably about maybe 1/8 of an inch on both pieces. So. Okay, so make sure the glue is nice and hot. It should be really clear when it comes out. I do have it on the hot setting right here. And we're gonna take some glue, put it right there, and then put this right on top of it. And all I did just to kind of make this a little not as frizzly, I just took a lighter and just burnt around it. So, but anyway, yeah, you're gonna put your glue right here. Hold it for about a minute, and then be ready to pull over those metal tabs and press it on. Okay. Okay, so once it's glued, and this is how it looks, it's just those two little wings on the those two little wings on this ring piece just dig into the side, and then the glue also holds it on. And it's really strong. This ain't coming off, so I'm like really tugging at it. So it's gonna be pretty good. All right, let's get the other stuff done and the other side done, and we will. Oh yeah, by the way, when you're doing this, the reason I do one side first is because you kind of want to measure here. So you want to. It's right there. You want to measure it just about to where it's going to be right about there, and it's going to be pretty tight. So I'll try to get the exact size for you. All right, so our next step here is to do this. There's a little notch right there. Can you see that little notch? I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. It's for the bigger cord. So basically just take a Dremel drill and just make it a little bit bigger. And I'm probably not going to be able to show you. Well, the sun is going down, but I want to get this done for you. So I got some lights out here, I suppose. But anyway, next thing is we're going to just screw them into the top. All right. So again, I can't hold this, so let me just do two things at once. Let me do it, and I'll be right back. All right. So a little test fit before I glue. Looks pretty decent. So I'm going to glue each one of these. I did one already, and I'm going to go from this side up to this side, just so we can go back and forth. But I'm using the black glue, and it's going to have to hold each one of them until it dries. All right, so let's do one here. See if I can get this to work. I'm going to try just do this one where I could take a picture of it pretty easily. Get your glue good and hot. Go around the outside of it first. Then you want to hold it, push in on it, and then just let it dry. And that's pretty much what you do. I'm just kind of holding it right here squeezing it together. And you're going to do each one of these like that. But I'm not going to show you all this because it's going to take some time. So we're going to come back when it's completed here. All right, y'all, we have finished it up. So I did all of the glue. And then what I decided to do on this one right here is I decided to put a washer rather than just the screw directly into the front piece here. So that way it actually has a little brace on here from this plastic. That's something that can come on and off. This stuff right here, this is pretty strong. This black glue, make sure you put it on the hot setting. And by the way, what I did on some of these just to play around, when I let about after probably a little bit of holding it, I let go of it. Then I placed a little bit of aluminum on it and smushed it real hard. And then once it cooled, I just took the aluminum off, so I made kind of like a cap on there, which I kind of like. So a couple of them I didn't do like that, but the other ones here, I did do the cap. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. So the only thing now to do is just actually put her back on and see what it looks like. It's getting dark, everybody. Anyway, you know, in the comments, see if you might think of a different way to do this. But again, I don't want to just bolt the metal one on here that sticks out because, again, I do like to put the doors into the bags and then put them into the back of the car. And if you put anything in here at all that sticks out, it won't compress together the right way, all the doors, and you won't be able to do it. So it's very, very tight. All right, so let me go ahead and put the door back on. All right, door's back on, and just took me a few seconds, and it looks really good. So get a nice angle with the light here. Super strong. I like it. Matches all my doors now. All right. Well, guys, it's getting dark. I made it all the way for you guys so you guys can see the end of this. Make sure you like and subscribe and make any comments in the comment section. And it really does help the algorithm so other people can see this. It's free to do, so if you can do that, it'd be great. But and I appreciate everybody who has joined. But until next time, everybody, Bronco Mania.